Hello, Watcher Chat here with your reminder that life is short, buy the watch. Today we're getting hands-on with the Tudor Ranger, and I must say I wasn't overly excited by this watch at first because the media releases didn't really do much for me, and I didn't know much about the watch, so I thought I'd do a bit of reading on it. Now, the Ranger name was officially registered in 1929, 3 years after the Tudor trademark, and in 1943 the name began to appear on various models to add an adventurous feel to the watch. And in 1952 to 1954, the British North Greenland expedition occurred, and so 30 scientists were equipped with the Tudor Oyster Prince watches, the reference 7809, which performed exceptionally well in the extreme cold and rough conditions. I believe temperatures dropped down to minus 66 degrees Celsius. And while these watches were not branded with the Ranger name, they demonstrated the concept of robust, practical and affordable expedition watches. So in 1965, Tudor released a specific Ranger model in a 34mm case, and this established the now iconic design language with black dial, Arabic numerals and distinctive spade or shovel hour hands. In 1969, the specific Ranger is officially introduced into the Tudor catalogue and remained in production until 1988. Where it was then discontinued. In 2014, Tudor revived the Ranger with a Heritage Ranger at a larger model with 41mm. And in 2022, Tudor launched the new Ranger to mark the 70th anniversary of the British North Greenland expedition. This model is a bit more faithful to the 39mm interpretation of the original. This brings us to today, where we look at the new release of the 39mm and 36mm configurations. So here we are at the bar at the flagship store of Tudor in Brisbane. The first watch we looked at was the 39mm, and here we see that it's got the classic dial with the Arabic numerals. On the wrist it was quite nice, however there was something about the dial that just felt it was a little bit out of proportion. I felt that the text was a bit big for the dial face, and Tudors are known to be quite thick, and this one is no exception. There is a bit of thickness to it, but because of the reduced size, it feels like it's actually not a bad proportion on the wrist. Next up, I had a crack at the strap version, and whilst this one's not really for me, it did help reduce thickness. One really cool thing that I didn't know about these straps was that it's a single woven piece. If you look closely at it, what it does is, instead of the traditional strap that wraps across itself, these are woven into the spring bars. Here we have a 36mm, and I was really surprised by this. The proportions look significantly better, and the marker sizes just really suit the dial. I don't normally wear a 36, I typically wear watches around the 40mm, but this was actually exceptionally good on the wrist. The thickness was still there, but because of this reduced size, it was just great with wearability. Side by side, it doesn't look like much of a difference here, but I assure you it is. The 36mm really wears quite well. One of my viewers strongly suggested that I get a mirror shot, so here we are, and I must say it does make a big difference when not just viewing it on the wrist. The next was the Dune model, which is inspired by Tudor's involvement in the Dakar Rally, being the official timer. I really didn't quite like this colour. It was a bit cream. While I liked that they are trying different variations, I just didn't feel that there was enough contrast against the dial. And the legibility wasn't as good given it was white on white with the hands. You can see here side by side, the black is much preferred for me. So that was the quick-fire review of the Tudor Ranger. It was very surprising, and it just reinforces that you do need to get hands on watches just to be able to form a reasonable view. Before I went to the store, I had a preconception that I didn't like them, but once I had a look at it in person and put it on, I really changed my mind. Pricing-wise, it is a little bit up there for this watch. There are some alternatives. I actually went in there with the Railmaster just because it was a very similar style of watch, and I feel that when you go in to look at watch of a certain genre, it's good to bring another one in your collection in with you and get an objective view and perspective rather than have impulse buying on the spot. So yeah, that's the Ranger review hands-on. If you like this video, please click like and subscribe, and remember, life's short, buy the watch.